I'm Mel Stewart, and this is SwimSwam Podcast. Joining me is Coleman Hodges, SwimSwam head of production and the guy on deck at all the swimming meets. And today we have a very, very, very special guest, one of my favorite people of all time, six-time Olympic medalist, Matt Grevers.
Hey.
Hey, come on, you got to come in harder than that. You go, hey!
Yeah. I've been watching these podcasts, and, everyone's your favorite person, but I'm also glad to be one of your favorite
No. Today, you are our favorite backstroker. We had Lenny Kraselberg on, and Lenny was our favorite that day.
Yeah.
Then we had Ryan Murphy on, and Ryan Murphy was our favorite that day. But now that I've been thinking about it and I've talked to him and I'm looking at your face, I'm thinking, no, it's all about Matt Grevers.
Thanks, Mel. No, those are some great guys. I think backstrokers are just good people, right? Yeah.
We put the question to Ryan. We're like, the Team USA contingent of like stars in backstroke is extraordinary. Do you guys like get together and hang out, behind the scenes and have a backstroke, we're awesome get together? Does that happen?
I think that's a great idea. I don't think it's happened yet, but being on the LA Current last year, we got Lenny, Murphy, and I over there, and that was awesome to just hang out and have some whole bunch of Olympic gold medal backstrokers hanging out. It was great.
Yeah, what we are talking while we are amid the COVID shutdown and some phase, depending on the state that you're in, and it's been tough. I've been up and down. It's hard, but it's some good news is that we're hearing murmurs that ISL is going to slowly start trickling out some information, and we had so much fun last fall, and we know that you're just going to leak it right here, right now. So tell us everything. Tell us everything that's going to happen with ISL that we're not supposed to know.
I would love to. I'm not even on a team right now.
What?
I know. Hey, so if someone wants me, I'm available. It's just. I had a hard time committing to the initial offer just with the kids and an unknown date for an unknown time at an unknown location is just too much for me to commit to. And it's understandable. The LA Current had to fill up the roster. No hard feelings at all for Lenny doing what he needed to do that was best for the team. But that kind of left me out in the cold now. But I would still love to be a part of it if it does happen, and I can make it happen with my family. I really enjoyed the format last year. I thought it was an incredible event, great for the sport of swimming, and I would love to continue to be part of it as long as I'm competitive. I think I'm still there. I'm still feeling pretty good in the water. So as soon as I need a little cane to get out and walk around on deck, I'll try to be competitive.
For folks listening, everybody knows you, but we have to say it, and I apologize. You're 35 years old. You're a grown man, and you're a grown man with responsibilities, a beautiful wife and beautiful kids, and so I guess we all understand that you have responsibilities, and you got to be certain about your future. And but I'm sure that you're hiding information that you actually know because you are an Olympic medalist with insider information, but we'll just let that slide.
Good.
I want to hop in here. Matt is you're in the best place in the United States, Columbia, Missouri. You're training with Andy, the head coach there, who's your brother. How long have you been there? What's the situation in Columbia? I'm jealous. I wish I could go there right now and go see my parents. But how are you? How long have you been there? What's been happening in Columbia with you so far?
Yeah, I got here July 1st. Arizona, as most people know, has been a pretty hot spot. And so I actually got out there the day it kind of re-shut down and scheduled a training trip here at Missouri with my brother. And I just needed to get in the water. Man, I was getting antsy, and it was just tough trying to find pool space in Arizona and then trying to swim, and you only get an hour. You can only sign up once a day. It's just difficult, and you're not in a team environment. So I was just and looking at dates, and you're like, oh gosh, like if the Olympic trials is happening, everything's happening. I'm less than a year away. I need to get going. So just to kind of reduce my anxiety, I need to get training. And my brother's got a great thing going on here, and they're available to train. So I'm in the water, getting in shape, and actually feeling pretty good. it's feeling good. I was a little nervous being out of the water for almost 3 months or whatever it was, that this old body would take a little while. But if anything, maybe the age is a benefit here. Just that muscle memories right back where I left it off. And it's feeling pretty good in the water, and times already aren't horrible. So it's been a huge reduction in my anxiety that, like, hey, you know what, I can wait this thing out, and whatever happens, everyone's in a similar boat. Obviously there's some better training circumstances on one side of the country than the other, or wherever you are. But in general, everyone's gonna kind of have to roll with the punches. And now that I know I can actually swim again, I can relax and take a deep breath and reanalyze things. Because Mel said it earlier, I think everyone goes through their little cycles, like, okay, we can do this, let's be really positive. And it's kind of gets tiring being positive, not knowing, hey, is this thing going to happen? Like, I could take the hit once of, everything being focused for this peak performance at Olympic trials. Okay, never mind, reset, we got another year. And we got to climb up that mountain of training again. But to do it, to mentally know that there's a possibility that doesn't happen, that's what's really tough for me right now is, hey, if they call this, like, this hurts. This hurts getting back into peak performance shape. It hurts doing the doubles and the lifting and swimming and getting my body where it needs to be. And it's more sacrifices than just my body. As Mel said, I got a family, I got other responsibilities. I'm in real estate, so I'm trying to balance some things and trying to figure out my priorities. And it just stinks that in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, what if this doesn't happen? And that's just so hard to go all in. I know I shouldn't. I know that I shouldn't be thinking that way. But man, that's my monster I got to overcome right now. But being in Missouri, it's just been awesome. It feels so good. It's eased everything in my mind, just knowing I can train. My brother's got a great thing going on here. Love the practices. It's awesome.
I years and years ago, God, when I think of you, I remember, I forget what Olympic trials it was, but you picked me up and held me over your head. I never felt like a tiny little man. But do you remember doing that, like on the street in Omaha? You just grabbed me and lifted me over your head. I was like, that's kind of boss right there.
Must have been after celebrating making that team in 08.
It was, but here's the thing: you've had every experience in swimming, and early on, I called you the gentle giant, and you're like, "Don't call me the gentle giant." And I've thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? You're not. I judge somebody's ability to be just so tough and an assassin when they've suffered. You've been third at trials, you've missed an Olympics, you went through that period, was back in 2010, was it, where you missed the team, and you came back and had an extraordinary 2012. You have resilience, you're anti-fragile, you come back, and now just thinking about that, in the context of what's happening now you're living through this historic pandemic. It hasn't happened in 100 years. So everything that could possibly be thrown at Matt Grevers, I think, has been thrown at Matt Grevers. Has that gone through your head? It's like, wow, I've just had to overcome so much.
No. No. I think I've been lucky and fortunate. I can appreciate what you're saying, but no, I don't want to ever make myself a victim there. I think I'm 35 and I'm able to swim. My shoulders are pretty good. My body's good, man. I put a lot of miles, and I'm still fortunate and lucky enough to be able to swim. I've been able to, my family has allowed me to still pursue this professional sport. Now, I think, this has all been super fortunate, incredibly blessed life, great career. You said it, I've experienced some incredible things, and I think it makes me more empathetic that I've experienced the down things, and I can relate to people, maybe help them out of a rut if they need helping from me, because I can empathize. And no, I think it's been a great journey. I've loved the sport and all parts of it. The downsides make the upsides better. Like you said, 2010, I was bummed out. But man, I made 2012 that much better. 2016, I was bummed out, but I had an incredible 2017. It's kind of one of the benefits of having such a long career. You have a lot of moments that you can bounce back from and feel good about what you've done. So no, I understand, appreciate what you're saying, but I feel incredibly blessed.
So you have put a lot of miles on, and you've been able to get back in the water. I've been interested to hear what you said you've put up some pretty good times so far, but what has the training looked like just easing back in? What, it's been 2 weeks, I guess, now for you?
Yeah. Started off and actually almost was tapered. We did fast 25s, and I was pushing 10 lows, backstroke, 9 highs, freestyle, like repeats with short rest. So I was feeling really good about my speed, and then the speed kind of went down, and the longer stuff started getting better. So today we did like 200 pace work within underwaters after, and my underwaters are still good. I'm very lucky. I'm lucky. I think I have a lot of natural talent, and that's helped me a lot. And I think, I guess it takes some away from me because that means I haven't worked super hard all the time. But no, it's definitely a benefit here. And I'm curious about what I have talked to Nathan a little bit and some of the other older swimmers. I think this might be an advantage for the older swimmers more than a disadvantage, which I initially thought. I think I'm just kind of getting right back into things. My body knows what to do. My brain definitely knows what to do. And it's feeling pretty good. So really it's not, don't have to climb up a huge hard hill. I'm sore. My body's very sore, but that's the biggest thing.
And talking to coaches, a lot of coaches are like, oh, this is going to be a nice window for young swimmers to have one more year to develop. Then you hear other coaches, other analysts say, yeah, but these older swimmers have been doing this at such a high level for so many years, they probably have micro injuries they weren't even aware of. And this timeout is this one breath in the moment where they can heal. I wondered, did you have anything that was like a little kink and it's, you felt something and you healed up and then suddenly you hit the water and you're like, wow, I feel different. Did you feel anything in those 25s in that speed where it's like, wow, where did that come from?
Yeah, I guess I have a minor hip impingement. And that's, just, I think tall people have it, your bone. And so if this is your hip socket, this is a little sharp, and it kind of like your tendons, ligaments can kind of go against the sharp point and phrase it a little bit. So I think, my kick is better already, just doing a lot of body position kick. I feel more power and backstroke when I went fast. Just yesterday, I was rising up. And that's when I know my backstroke's on, is when my hips are out of the water and you see me bounce around. I had that already. Usually I need to wait till taper time or something. So it made my brother super excited. Me too. It's cool to know that I'm not saying anything's going to be great. And I know it's not going to be easy, but it's cool to know that there's still the chance to do well. It's still a possibility. A lot of stars have to align for me, but the system's ready. It's everything's got to go well for it, but it's still kind of cool that at 35, it's really not that old. I think we're going to keep pushing that. We can keep pushing that age barrier up until, I don't know when.
So it's not like you just took 3 months off. Sure, you were out of the water, but I want to hear about this cycle race that you dominated and proved that swimmers are indeed the best athletes.
Yeah, right. You get stir crazy, and when you're used to that endorphin rush every day, the feeling good after exercise, you need to do it. And I actually started off real well, and then I think I got comfortable doing less and less, and now I'm back up. But Peloton race, that was awesome. So someone from ESPN came out and was like, hey, do you want to do this? I was like, yes, I have something to focus on. Finally, let's go. So I did like a little training set for it, and I think I was way more into it than those other guys, but that's fine. And I think now, if I did now, I could go much better even. Now I've kind of learned a little bit, but it's fun, man. I think we're racers. Swimmers just want to race and have a goal. And it felt so good to have a goal and an objective and something to train for. And it makes me know, like, even when I'm going to be done with this sport, when I have to be done, I'm going to need physical goals and objectives forever. Just to, it's fine to train and try to stay in shape, but you don't get the same benefit as when you're actually shooting for something. You can push yourself so much harder. Those pain barriers go down so much easier than if you're just like, well, I just kind of want to look okay.
We're all swimmers here. We all move in a tribe of swimmers. We move, whether it's your club team or the national team. And we know that some of these folks just they're not that great on land. But it is odd. It is, you are an outlier to be able to hop on a bike and do that. But also, you've got that long drive skill. How far have you been on the golf course? Have you? I was on the golf course with you once, and I was like, I can't believe this. Have you improved on that? Like, how far can you drive a golf ball?
I went golfing on Sunday. Missouri, by the way, you can't hit it as far as Arizona because of the moisture in the air. So in Arizona, I have hit it actually with Clark Burkle. We both did on the same hole. We drove the hole that was 370. So that was an actual in the fairway, well, actually, he went in the sand, so it might have gone further, but on a real course, 370. So that was pretty neat. I think that's my record of it, like still finding the ball. My problem is I lose them. I'll even hit them dead center. I'm going to look down the fairway, and it's just gone because they go a little too high. I think swimmers are pretty neat. We have good, strong cores, and we're flexible, so we can get a lot of leverage. So yeah, I've been playing here. I've already golfed 3 times with my brother here in Missouri. It's good. Let our wives take the kids for a little bit and go sneak out on the golf course. But it's been a lot of fun. I can still hit it pretty far, but I'm still bad. I can just hit it far.
It's still impressive.
Thanks.
Go ahead, Coleman.
So I wasn't sure. So are Annie and the kids there as well? And if so, you've got Skylar, who I think is 4 or 5 now, and then I don't even know your second child's name because they're pretty new, right?
Yeah, Gracie is my 7-month-old, and Skylar's 3.5, or a little older than 3.5. Okay. She looks like she wears over 5 T's, 5, 6 T's. So that's not you're guessing the right thing. She looks like a 5-year-old.
Seems par for the family.
Yeah, yeah. So here, it's great. It's a family reunion. We get to really get to know my nephew a little better, Atticus, my brother's son. He's just a ball of energy, and it's awesome just to see the cousins play and get to know each other a little better. And it's unique. It's obviously scary to travel cross country in this time, but we felt pretty safe on the plane wearing masks, and our girls understand the sickness. At least our old Skylar does, and she understands we can't go roll on the bathroom floor right now. We got to be smart. And so it felt pretty good, and just being here with the family, I think we're starving for some human interaction and touch, and so being with your family is the safest and most comfortable you can be in this kind of weird situation.
When I was talking earlier about your resilience, experiencing everything in the sport, and coming back from moments that were challenging, that was also something that was floating through my head. It's like, wow, you're a married man and a father, and you're also maintaining this elite career. And Coleman doesn't understand this. You've got to be married and have kids to understand that having kids, they don't turn off. It's and I would think that would be very, very challenging. It's not something I had to deal with when I was swimming. I can't even imagine it. But it's but I guess it's probably been a huge asset during the shutdown to be sheltered with the ones you love.
For sure. It's been great. Skylar's my workout buddy. I use her as a weight, and she really likes it. She's like, all right, triceps. And so I just put her behind me and start doing some triceps. It's cool. There are certain things like right now that I'm really trying to get back into it. I want to get home and I want to recover. I want to put my recovery boots on, and I want to sleep for hours. Then I want to go use a percussion gun and put on some stim and take some supplements, sleep again. So really I would love to eat, swim, eat, sleep, swim, eat, and recovery stuff in between. That's my ideal day. You're exactly right. I don't get to do that. It's daddy time when I'm home, and you got to be running. You got to have energy for your kids, and it's a good distraction. But that's why I got to go to training camps every now and then, because then it's a real focused training. You get to recover. But it's really not something I even try to explain to people without kids, because you're not going to get it until you have them and realize, mom's, she's got to be off duty sometimes. And I kind of have a stay-at-home job in a lot of ways. So it's great because I have a lot of good quality time with my family, but I get tired.
If you're dad, you're a jungle gym.
Yes.
Yes. Dad's jungle gym. And that's not what you want to be doing in between sessions. You want to be doing it, but it's hard. I wanted to ask you just something. It's been a blown. We haven't done it with some great folks that's dropped in. But has there ever been one swim, doesn't have to be the Olympics, not trials or anything, where it was like you touched the wall and you're like, that was perfect. That felt perfect. It's if I had to guess it, I was like, was it trials in 12?
That was the best one. Trials in 12. It's that was not a perfect swim though. For the finals, my semifinals, it was way slower. My rate, it's still talking about outliers. Russell Mark has a graph of tempos for times, and I was a 53.0, I believe, or somewhere around there. But my rate was a 1.7, which is slower than almost anyone's 200 backstroke rate. And I was just, man, that thing didn't hurt at all. And I feel like if I just would have gunned it at the right point, just how much water I was pulling, how connected my core was, just felt so strong. It wasn't the perfect race in a way, but it felt perfect. Zero energy. I think my heart rate was like 140 out of it. After it was done, I was like, I'm going to go pretty fast. Like, this feels great. And I really don't, man, you said it. I've been all over the place, and I don't really know. I think some people know every big meet they're going to go. And for me, I'm like, well, I think I can be good. I'm not sure. But after that, I'm like, yes, I'm good. Like, this finals will be good. So the actual finals was good, but I just get excited. And even, I guess that's a while ago now, but I get excited and I want to go faster too early for me and the style, the way I train. I think I got to rely on my easy speed, big, strong strokes. And I see someone else's arm spinning next to me. And I'm like, I want to spin like them, but I'm like, no, I got to slow it down. So it's, I'd say one of my perfect races, this is randomly here in Missouri, I think 2008, February, 100 freestyle. Out of nowhere, I went like a 48.5 mid-season.
I was there for that. I remember it. Yeah. Morning finals, right? That was prelims.
No, I think Cielo beat me in a finals. This was prelims.
Yeah, prelims at night.
Yeah, and I was like, gosh, this felt awesome. Like I never broke 49, and to go 48.5, kind of like with a beard and just not really minding. It felt amazing, and that was one of my perfect races where it was just relaxed, swimming my own race, and ended up with a great time.
Also, at that meet, I want to chime in. So you had just started training at Arizona at that point, right?
Yep.
And it was, you guys did a 400 free relay. It was you, Roland Skuman, Ray Kneethling, and Darian, maybe?
Maybe.
And I think you guys went 3:16.
Or Lyndon Burns.
Lyndon. It was Lyndon.
Yeah.
Lyndon Ferns, you guys went like 3:16, average 49 O's. That has to be the pool record there, because I remember seeing it and saying, that's never going to get broken ever, because Columbia. Yeah. Anyway, that was a great meet.
Yeah. That was back when I could go fast almost whenever. That was great.
That was the Swim Network days. I remember that. Yeah. That was the only time I was ever on deck with Reich, but it's a, when I think about you and I think about your entire career and I think about all those great moments, I always do come back to that one thought in 2012. It felt like it was the tier show, because I just remember I was like, I was in like 20 rows up, and I just remember you touching the wall and coming out, and it's like that entire square box down right behind your lane was the company, and that's been a long relationship. And I like the fact that company stuck with you, and they were consistent. They were there through 2010, and and loyalty pays off. But yeah, it seemed like a wonderful celebration. It seemed like a good time.
That's a great. I think they're still doing it, having that box with tier, and they invite your family there. And gosh, man, you get to hug your family right after that race, and that's who you want to celebrate with. Obviously, there's a long line of people that help with that race, that get you there, but your family is the best that you're going to feel to celebrate with. But your coaches are also there, your teammates, your friends, but your family is also. That was a great, and that is the company's motto and what they've been. They've always wanted a family feel. So the fact that they think about that is pretty neat.
Has it been cool since you've been with Tier for so long, and to see them grow into what they are today? I mean, over so many years, almost a decade. Sorry. What has that experience been like for you?
Yeah, man, we're on like almost 14 years or something. I signed with them in 07. Yeah, it's great. It's really cool to see. Just remembering our first photo shoots and how they've evolved. So, like, now it's a big time production, and it's just funny to think about. Where I remember my very first one. I wore the over the shoulder like Farmer John suit, super tight, and they're like, "Okay, you'll be up soon." But there wasn't really a schedule, so I wore this Farmer John thing for 6 hours, and I ended up bleeding on my shoulders. And I never even got on the shot list because it was just like kind of running behind. Now it's like, now if you got your 15-minute slot here, your 15-minute slot there, it's just super well organized, big time production. It's just come a long way. But it's been awesome to be part of all the incredible people that have been with that company over the years, and seen a lot of not a lot of turnover in the roles, but I've seen the new generation take over and what they're doing with the company, and it's all interesting to see the evolvement of how they've really grown.
But you're a founding member. It's like you were their first investment and star, and you hobnobbed on the deck with the CEO. It was you and the CEO, Matt. And I thought that was a cool beginning, and I think it's a great story in swim, and they certainly deserve the acknowledgement for being steadfast and always with you and always behind you. It's a nice pairing. I feel like we need to clear the air, and because I've had my heart sink 4 or 5 times at SwimSwam, and one was when we had a report in 2016. Do you remember that report?
I do.
You do remember that report. I saw that report go up, and then I got a text message from Braden. He's like, "This report is wrong. Grevers is not retired, but we just reported that he was retired." And I thought, I love you, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is the worst moment in history. This is supposed to be an exciting time." How much did you hate us in that moment?
No, there was no hate. I was sad for not making the team, and that took probably 99% of my emotional energy. It didn't bother me. The only thing I was sad about is I didn't want to take any attention away from the swimmers that were making the meet and making the team. So I felt like that was the only mistake there. Is I didn't know what I was going to do, to be honest. It wasn't an outrageous call on your guys' part. Like, I think the tone, my emotions portrayed that I was probably going to hang it up because I was super sad. But I didn't want to take away that moment for all the wonderful other stories that were happening. So I'd say that's the only thing. No, I've never hated you guys. You guys are great.
Well,
I lifted you up, Mel.
But the interesting thing is that it has become kind of a thing now. Athletes don't retire. A lot of athletes in my day, if you didn't make the Olympic team, you'd walk off to your post-race interview and you'd be like, "Yeah, I'm done. I'm retiring." And that's just what you did. Athletes don't do that now. And got to be honest with you, I'm not aware enough, but yeah, that makes absolute sense. You don't want to take away from the moment of what's happening with a very sacred meet. But it was so you're just a good human being, and I like hearing that. Well, hey, when you're 35, are you going to swim until you're 55? Is that's the rumor?
Gosh, it's starting to hurt a little more, but I still, for me, it hurts going up the hill. But once I'm over and I'm in peak shape, man, I can really ride it and glide it, and it feels good. It's fun. Like, I'm loving it. Right now is a tough time. Whatever, relative. Not a lot of people out there in this situation are much tougher spot than I am. So a little physical pain, you got to put that in perspective. It's still good, but I would like to keep going. Just what you're saying about not retiring after me. Well, one, we're going back to tier. Matt Lorenzo said, hey, like, we're supporting you no matter what. He said it that night, that dinner. We went out to dinner, and I saw him, and he made his way to talk to me. And you feel so bummed out because obviously there's a lot of sponsorship money that you lose by not making the team. Other sponsors, there's still a lot of money involved in the sport, or you hope so. So that's something you got to think about. And having that option, an opportunity for redemption in my own mind, meant a lot. That was a huge thing that he did for me there. But now with the ISL coming out, it's not just the Olympics anymore. It's not a 4-year only program. We have opportunities all the time, every year, through several times a year. You got the FINA Championship Series. There's a lot of money there. You have the ISL becoming a lot of money now, and even the World Cups that are still operating. There's so many prize money meets. The Tier Pro Series is still money, more than it used to be. And now with social media and influencers, and just if you have some followers, you can make some money, get some kickbacks that way. It's a little work, but look at Cody Miller, what he's been able to do with his brand. He's just crushing it, and it's awesome. It's great to see. So if you want to swim, there's now opportunities where when you swam, Mel, if you weren't making an Olympic team, there wasn't any other opportunities. You're going to have a full-time job and then swim. And that's obviously not easy to do if you're trying to do it at the top level. Not now.
Just follow Matt Grevers around with a camera. That's my only option.
But speaking of jobs, you did mention real estate. I'm kind of curious. You've got a degree from Northwestern. What's going on there? What have you been doing in real estate? Is that something you had planned on for a while? What's going on?
Yeah, I kind of just fell into it. 2009, I bought a house, and just to live in with like my buddies. It was Corey Chitwood, Clark Burkle, Jean Bassan, Jordan Smith in there at some point. It's all swimmers, and they're helping me kind of pay the mortgage. And then I was like, this is nice, like this kind of rental. So Annie didn't want to live in my bachelor pad when we got married, so we got another house.
What?
I'm crazy, I know. And so we kind of just rented that one out. I was like, I love this passive income. So we got a whole bunch more. I think we're up to 6 or 7 rentals. I'm saying that in August where I got my real estate license, just so if I want to manage them again myself, there's no problem there, even though you're allowed to manage your own properties. And so I'm selling a couple houses this August. I'm putting it on the market, maybe buying some more, and it's been great having that kind of passive income. It's substantial. There's been years I've made more in real estate than swimming for sure. And that's just awesome because I've been lucky. So I'm saying, I probably shouldn't say this, but it seems easy. As long as you have a little bit of money to start with, it's not maybe as hard as swimming to make money. So it's been great. So just a lot of student housing and some kind of flip to rents. I'm trying to do 3 to 5 year holds, and then we're going to sell them again. And as crazy as the market's been, it's still been a pretty reliable source of income. So that's been great. Future plans, probably stick with some real estate, maybe starting a swim school while swimming if I can. I really enjoy it. I think I'd like to do it anyway. I've talked about having a goal. And as long as I'm competitive, I think I could make some money on it. And man, ISL was super fun. But felt like it was in college. It's just really cool to be part of a team all the time. I love the opportunity to race at a higher level a lot. It's kind of maybe one of my strengths. I just need to train that way again. And I figured it out by the end of the season. I do need to train differently, and kind of getting to know that. I think I'd be more prepared for the upcoming years if I'm still doing it, which I would like to. It's great.
We're winding down to 4 minutes, and I just have to ask this question because you have so many years traveling with Team USA. Do you have any Team USA team trip stories that are PG that you could share? Any funny anecdote?
I mean, oh gosh, there's plenty. I'd say one of my favorite is I always talk trash to breaststrokers. And in 2012, I think it was Connor Dwyer's who was a freestyler, but he had a good breaststroker, and Brendan Hansen were like, hey, you're not that good. So I raced a 25 breaststroke and I just smoked everyone. It was awesome. So that's not maybe the interaction you're looking for, but I was like, breaststroke, just, it's easy. It's half gliding. It's not the same sort of burn that freestyle and backstroke have. Gosh. So I still really enjoy talking trash to all the breaststrokers. Other stories like, gosh, 2009, like Michael Phelps was just, biggest name on the planet. Maybe the most recognizable face on earth in 2008, certainly. And we're in Rome, and I remember trying to eat with him, and he was getting mobbed, and he's just looking for help. And I was looking at Nathan, like, dude, we gotta protect this guy. So we just became bouncers. We weren't swimmers anymore. We're just like, make way, like, stand back, and just trying to get through the streets. And God, he was just such a superstar. Just seeing that it was really cool to see a swimmer get to that level, get that kind of recognition. It was pretty neat, but then also I was like, gosh, I should probably use my size for something other than swimming in this situation. So we became bouncers. It was great. I mean,
if I had you and Nathan Adrian coming at me, I'd probably back up too.
In Italy too, they're little. Yeah, we're giants.
No, it's a good story. Nathan's, is he, how long, he's been your roommate a lot. Has he been your roommate always?
I don't know. So I was Ben Wellman, Toe Bringers in 2008 in the actual, but we hung out a ton. We were roommates after, so we shared a hotel room in 2008 after the games. And then 2009 and beyond, we were pretty much roommates, with the exceptions of me not making the team. And it's been awesome. It's been really cool because we got to see the greats and how they led the team. Jason Lezak and Aaron Pearsall, and just seeing how they kind of were captains. And we kind of got to develop a culture that we're only there for a month, right? We can't do too much, but I think we've done an okay job. We've tried to get the team excited about everyone's race. And swimming is a pretty individual sport, so it's difficult to get very excited about maybe some of your competitors, especially in your event. And I think, gosh, it's been so cool seeing the whole team just truly want their teammates to win. And I think Nathan's done a great job, and I've tried to kind of nurture that culture. And I'd say that's one of the things I'm most proud of lead swimming, is being able to have a leadership role that maybe if it tweaked the mindset just a fraction, maybe I'm taking too much credit there, but it was pretty neat to see the enjoyment of everyone at all the meets. Seeing Caleb swim fast, and you don't swim fast, you feel good about it. It still was an incredible meet for Team USA. You feel like you accomplished something, even though you didn't have a great meet yourself. You're not having the feel of the quits, and you're not super down because someone else lifted you up with their performance. And so, man, is this sport easier when you get to celebrate other people's swims, because it is hard when you start not doing or performing well. It's difficult to take again, time and time again, but someone is always going to swim fast in Team USA. So if you put your energy behind them, you get behind them, you get to celebrate with them, you feel like you never lose.
You've been listening to the SwimSwam podcast. Stay tuned for new episodes every week. You can take SwimSwam podcast on the go by subscribing on your favorite podcast platform. Look for links in the description below, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos as well.